Hi, I'm Davi, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you are new, I am a fourth-year computer science student with a minor in cognitive science, and this past summer I interned at Nike, and currently I am in the position of studying for full-time positions. So I'm about to graduate. I'll be graduating in May, and so right now I am studying for interviews. So the way that I do that, one of the ways that I do that at least, is doing LeetCode Problems. So I was on Twitch, which is what this UI is. Silent plug, if you would like to follow me on Twitch, it is at Daviel_. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter as well, it is at _Daviel. But I was on Twitch one time and someone said that it would be super great for me to record videos about me solving LeetCode problems, which I think would be fun. I think the whole process of LeetCode is really good, and I actually didn't do a lot of it when I was doing interviews, but I'm going to be doing more of it for full-time positions, so hopefully all of this will work out. Thank you to everyone that is watching my videos recently and coming to the Discord and coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. The channel is blowing up at the moment, and I am overwhelmed with the amount of love and support that I'm currently receiving, so thank you so much. Also, I have a Discord channel for my community. If you would like to be a part of that, that'd be super dope. The link will be in the description, and it'll also be the pinned comment of this video. So thank you so much. So honestly, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So this is LeetCode. I think is this the homepage? Nah, this is the homepage. So this is LeetCode. This site is really well known for having good problems and actual problems for interviews. There's a lot that you can do in here. For example, there's a September problem. There's just top interview questions. There's Google. You have to pay for it for premium membership. You have to pay. I don't know how much it is, and I don't have it because I'm not going to do that. But they separate the questions by company, which I think is pretty cool, like Google, Facebook, and Microsoft, and all of that stuff. So I don't know the validity of all of this, if doing Microsoft would actually help you and the Microsoft interview. I don't know, but I think the problems are good, and then themselves, I don't actually do a lot of these in the past, but I'm doing more of them because I really want a good position, a good full-time position. So we're gonna start with easy because I just am new here and haven't done a lot recently. So we're gonna probably do this first one. I guess the lock ones I'm not allowed to do it. Again, you have to have premium to do it. I will be doing my interviews in C++. I was really thinking about whether to do it in C++ or Java. My internship interviews were in C++, and that was only because the classes I was currently taking at the time was in C++, so I was really getting solidified with all of that knowledge. But right now, none of my classes are really doing a specific language. It's actually a lot of different languages, so I think I'm going to do C++ because I'm most used to it, but I haven't coded in C++ in a really long time, so this problem may take me a minute, but let's just get into it. So we are doing running sum of a 1D array. Given an array of nums, we define a running sum of an array as running sum of I equals sum nums to I. Return the sum of nums. Example, if you put 1, 2, 3, 4, the output should be 1, 3, 6, 10. What? 1, 3, 6, 10? Oh, 1 plus 2. Oh, so you do the previous? Oh, okay. You returning a sum. We're returning an array. Okay. Geez, I haven't done this in a really long time. So this is another thing, right? I don't remember half this stuff, so you literally just look it up. Something I have found with interviews in my experience is that if you don't remember, for example, right now, I don't remember how to find the length of a vector. I know it's something with length, or it could be length with parentheses, or it could be something like that. I can't remember the actual function, but I remember specifically when I was taking a Google interview, they were oh, if you don't remember the actual syntax, that's okay, you just keep going. They're not that bothered by the actual syntax, but vector. Okay, so that was it. And so, okay, so here's my logic behind the question. So essentially, you're adding the previous two numbers, these two numbers, and I think this one does it really well. You're adding the previous number and replacing that in the spot. At least that's what I did, right? So I just looped through the whole array with a for loop, and I'm saying first time the sum equals 0. So the sum equals the sum plus nums at I. So for the first time, it's 0 plus 1, and then I'm replacing nums at I with sum. So now in nums, it's now 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Then the second time you go through your array, I is now 1. So then sum equals this previous sum, which was 1, plus nums at I. Nums at I is 2. Now, the second spot in the array becomes 3. I think and originally you could have just like made a whole new array, which is what I was going to do at first. But then I was like, well, no, you don't need a new array because that one, that uses memory and that's unnecessary. And then 2, you can just use the memory that's already there and just replace it, because once you use this one, you don't use it anymore. You're using the sum. And so therefore I'm only keeping track of 2 things. Interviews are really big on like improving efficiency of problems and stuff. So it seems that I did this problem, I guess, in the runtime that they wanted. I'm kind of interested on, there's just no solution. Okay, never mind. Sometimes they give solutions, but when you submit it, maybe my runtime will be too long. And I think it could be because it's a for loop. So one time it was 12 milliseconds, so it was about 13% faster than this. So a big tip on solving problems is doing a brute force, so doing the first thing that pops into your head. And so the first thing that always pops into my head are loops. I love loops. I love switches. Those are just my favorite things to use. They are not efficient. They are not efficient in terms of runtime. So for example, this algorithm is probably a runtime in, a big O of n, because you're going in times based on the size of the array. And so like that's not as efficient. You can make it more efficient, but don't really know how at the moment. And especially because it like ran fast enough. It was 12 milliseconds, and also it didn't give me an error, because sometimes it'll give me an error and tell me that my runtime is too long. But if you were in an interview and they were like, oh, how could we make this more efficient, you know? The way I could make this more efficient was probably using a different data structure. At the moment, I can't think of how to make this better. They don't even have a solution, so I can't even see if they have a better one. So we did that, so let's do one more, honestly. Okay, second problem: kids with the greatest number of candies. Given the array of candies and the integer extra candies, where candies of I represents the number of candies that the ith kid has. For each kid, check if there's a way to distribute extra candies among the kids such that he or she can have the greatest number of candies among them. Notice that the multiple kids can have the greatest number of candies. Okay. So the input is 2, 3, 5, 1, 3. Extra candies is 3. True, true, false, true. What? Oh, okay. So I'm adding. So for this one, it's 4. This is true. This is false, false, false. So I'm adding this extra number to okay. So you find the max, then you add this extra number to all of the numbers and compare it to the max. I might have a lot of loops here. Okay, so success again. This one wasn't actually that hard at all. The runtime would be n squared, which is just not good at all. And so I'm trying to think of more ways to be efficient. But let me explain my first thought process, right? So first thing you have to do is find the max. So this, I think you can find the max with a hash map in like constant time. I think like you can just return. I'm not good with hash maps, but I think I could make that, you know, big O of n into constant. I think with hash map, but this function or this loop is just finding the max. So I'm just comparing candies at I with the max number. So first thing I did was set the max number to the first number in the array, and then I just continuously check throughout the whole array if the next number is bigger than the max, and if it is, then assign it. That's all I did there. So then the next loop is essentially what I was doing here. So if the loop, if the first number in the loop plus the extra candies is greater than or equal to the biggest number in the array, if it is, based on like this description over here, if it is, then I would insert true. I had some problem with the insert function because I couldn't remember. It's been a minute, but I couldn't remember how to insert things into a vector, because it's not an array, so you can't just do brackets at I equals true, which is what I did earlier. So I did pushback, but so if the candies at I plus the extra candies is greater than or equal to the max number, then I put true, else false, and that's literally it. And it was successful. I had 4 milliseconds, which is kind of crazy. I don't think these are doing like huge test cases. I remember like for one interview, I can't remember who it was with or what company it was for, but they would take these test cases and then there'd just be like a million numbers in there. And I remember like I had like, it was 5 problems, and you got points based on how well you answered the question. So like you had the max of 100, and I think I got a 30 out of 100, which is crazy. But I went on to the next level, I actually got an offer from that company. So it's actually really weird me getting a 30 out of 100 and still getting an offer, but you know, whatever. But like, for example, in this type of problem, I just like passed 8 out of 10 cases because the code works, but the runtime was too high because I was doing loops like this, and they were like, oh, with this input size of like a million numbers, it just wouldn't be efficient, which I always think is true. So I'm always constantly thinking about how to make things efficient. And in my current class of algorithms, we're actually talking consistently about like runtime. So like big O of n, big O of like n log in, and stuff like that. And so it's actually really cool actually to like think about. I'll be trying to do this daily September challenge and recording each day. So that's the current time or hours till this challenge starts, which is pretty cool. But I'm gonna try to solve all of these questions and make a video about it every day, every couple of days. I think this would be super fun, this September LeetCode challenge, and make a video off of it. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Even though I did 2 problems, I hope that it was kind of helpful and insightful in a little bit way. Someone had came into the Discord and said that I didn't show enough code. I haven't showed any code actually, so I'm hoping to do more of that, because as I am studying computer science actually, and I did intern at a company and wrote code, but I haven't shown any of that code on my channel because I wasn't allowed to. So I'm hoping for different ways to do that, and I think this new series will be super dope, because I'll be able to consistently practice for my own self with like these LeetCode problems, and also make content as well for y'all. So if y'all find this interesting, please let me know. Please let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.